So we officially met at the mall, but my brother went to her church, so that's how he knew them, and that's how I was introduced to them through the mall, well, her. And we go to the same church. We attend the same church, so
her brother started going to my home church probably in about 2009 or something like that. Yeah. And they started coming later, and we officially, the mall story is we met at the mall. I was getting my ears pierced. I was 16 and
I was 14.
She was 14. And I was getting my ears pierced with my mom and my sister, and her brother comes by. We know her brother really well because he'd been going to the church for about a year or so then. And she had been a couple of times. We didn't really know her officially yet. So that's when he introduced us, and we just became really close friends ever since then at 14 and 16. And it was the summer of 2010 in June. I remember it was June. I was going to the 11th grade that next year, and she was going to the 9th. Yep. And we just became really close friends ever since then. And then, of course, 2 years later, we began dating.
9 years and 7 months.
9 years and 7 months. We started February 26, 2012. So it'll be 10 years next February when we'll be getting married. We'll be getting married on our anniversary date. Yep. After 10 years of dating.
Yeah, I proposed to her on our anniversary too. So I proposed to her on February 26, 2020.
Yeah, we like to keep that day. So yeah. Our relationship has changed. It's changed a lot, but definitely for the better. We've matured, for one. We started off so young. We started off so young. So we've matured. We've grown together. We went through so much together. Mm-hmm. I lost my mom during our relationship. She lost her dad. We've lost grandparents. So we've been through so much, but it's only brought us closer, and our love has just grew every moment and every step of the way. So it's changed, but it's blossomed into something great.
Right. So it changed for the better.
It definitely changed for the better. Definitely. Back in the day, or I guess our high school, college years, like toxic. Yeah, toxic. That's all it is. Whereas toxic. Back then we used to argue, and we used to, was you doing this, or what, blah, 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 blah. Now it's like, okay, let's have a communication.
Yeah, like
let's talk about this.
If she cooked for that day, it's like, okay, we bring the problems to the table when, we eat. If it's any problem. So yeah, just communicate better. You don't have to just lash out on the person. You don't have to go and have an attitude. You just say what's on your mind, and because it may not be that serious. You may think it's one thing, and it's really not that serious. So communication, I could say.
Yeah, we definitely learn how to communicate with each other. Instead of not holding a grudge or holding some information in that until you feel like lashing it out and pouring it out. It's like, let's talk about it. Let's get to the bottom of it.
It's a lot of moments. I don't know, because I was like, girl, I'm gonna marry you. And it was just over time. Like I can't pick out a moment, but it's just been so good. And I'm like, look, this girl makes me happy, and I know if I ask her to marry me and I want to marry her, this is gonna make her even happier too. So I just want us to be happy together, and it's levels to it. First you're my girlfriend, then I gotta make you my fiance. I want to make you my wife. So I just really can't pick out a moment, because it's just all, I ain't gonna say it's all been good, but I can't live life without it. That's how I feel.
What stood out most to me about Ashleigh would probably just be besides her physical attributes, I would say, of course, her personality. As she was saying earlier, her family, they're very religious. They're very calm. They're very, they got their stuff together. And Ashleigh, meeting her, she was always that. She was the spontaneous one. She was the one that would say anything. She didn't care. So right when I first met her as a friend, that stood out to me, because I'm like, okay, because I'm outside looking in, I'm like, well, she's probably very religious, not that cool, church kid. And I realized that right then she was different. She didn't care. that her family all was like very one way. She didn't care that who was like this who she was. So that's how we automatically became friends, and that's how she always stood out to me. And then as we just like, okay, I grew to know her even more, and I grew to love her even more. She was always that same person, not caring what she said. You know, she would speak her mind. She would tell you how she felt. She's always making you laugh. And she's just this, you know, this crazy person, but at the same time, I don't know if many people know, but she's so loving and she's so giving and she's so caring at the same time. So it's like you have this crazy girl that doesn't care what she says. She'll tell you off. She'll tell you how it is. But at the same time, she'll give you her shirt off her back. She'll lend you money when she may be, you know, like she may have to take care of this, but she'll still give you her last. So it's like, it's just her personality and who she is that really stood out to me. And I wouldn't trade her for the world because I love the type of person that she is. So that really stood out to me as her personality.
I say it was really on me. She was older than me, so she graduated college first. She found a job first. So, you know, I still was in college when she was doing that, because she is 2 years older than me. So it was really up to me because I am the more dominant one. You know, I know she's not going to propose to me. So it's like, but I kind of set like goals for myself. Like, okay, I want to make sure I graduate college first. I want to make sure I have a job to where I can afford the ring that she wants. Like, I don't want to have to go back and say, oh, well, I'm just going to get you this one and then we'll upgrade it later. No, I want to get you the ring that you want. And I just wanted to make sure I was basically in a good space for marriage instead of like, you know, going from different job to different job, or, you know, I'm stable. So.
No, I haven't. My mom probably found out 2 years after us dating, so like 2014, when she did find out, it was kind of hints thrown at it and stuff like that, and she ended up asking me about it, and I always said if she asked me, you know, was I gay or anything, that I would tell her yes. So she did, and I told her, and she was definitely not pleased with it. Of course, you know, being religious, growing up Baptist, going to church, she wasn't okay with it. Also, I think what made her really not, you know, be in favor of it, because we went to the same church. So at that point, our families had grown really close. My mom, her mom, very good friends, you know, her father, her brother, we were all very close. And, you know, people saw us as kind of like, we were almost like a second family kind of. So it was kind of like, my mom was like, okay, you know, why Ashleigh? Like, you know, all people, then you choose Ashleigh, we go to the same church, kind of. And I'm sure kind of embarrassed of what other people would say. So didn't tell my dad at that moment. So my mom and I struggled with it. I mean, for years, it was kind of on and off. And I think eventually she kind of realized that nothing was going to change me from dating Ashleigh. Nothing she said or anybody else said was going to ever stop me from dating her. So she came to agreement with it. She was okay with it. Once we kind of moved in together, she was kind of like, oh goodness. It was kind of, you know, like, this just must be it. She acted like she didn't like it. Then next thing you know, she was, you know, all for it. Her and Ashleigh had a great relationship. So, you know, she came around, and I'm so glad she did come around before she passed away. So that was one of the best things I could say about that.
At first, my mom and her mom kind of found out around the same time. So my mom was just like, you know, well, why didn't you been say anything to me? And I was like, well, Mom, it's just not easy just to come out and say that because of who we are. Like, as far as religious wise, like, you know, I can't come out and say like, hey, I'm gay, or hey, I like a girl, or hey, I'm dating Kia, because we were so close. And so she just was like, you know, I don't like that, and, you know, going on the spiel. And so eventually it was like, for me, I'm like, I was a child that's kind of, I don't care. If I want to do it, I'm going to do it. So I was the wild child. So, you know, she just was like, well, I do want to have a relationship with my daughter. So if she wants to be gay, then hey, so be it. I don't want to stop talking to her. So, you know, as the years passed, I could say she seen me dress different. She seen me change. Like, hey, Mom, I don't want to wear this. I don't feel comfortable wearing this. So she seen the transition. I'm not gonna say it's a transition, but
she seen you change.
She seen me change. It's good. It's like, hey,
it's a breath of fresh air.
It's the one that I love. So I mean, I don't care what. If I don't care what my parents think or my brother, I don't care what anybody else think, honestly. So I love Kia, and that's really all that matters. So
yeah, it feels good to not be able to have to keep something a secret, not to keep someone you love and a relationship that you care so much about a secret. It feels really good just to to be able to show your love. Like we couldn't. Free. I used to see in high school or when I was in college, we were kind of out towards our friends. So like the social media that I would have, like more so my friends and younger family members on, I would post her and stuff like that. But Facebook was where I had like everybody from church, where I had all of my aunties and uncles and stuff. And they didn't really know in college. And I hated how I couldn't put a picture up of Ashleigh and I, on Facebook and say, happy birthday or, whatever, and make a lovey-dovey post. It felt so like, oh, I can't do that. But now, over these last couple of years, just being out and open and being able to show our love to the world and not be afraid. It feels really good and it feels free. And I hate that we had to just even experience that and go through that, all of those years, for sure.
But we were young, so
you
gotta take that in consideration.
But still, I hate that we still had to even do that at a young age. We should have still been able to just be free, Yeah.
Whatever you put it in other people's perspective, I would say whenever you doing something and it makes you like, oh my God, this is making me feel so happy. That's how I feel with Kia. So it's like it's nothing. I used to say basketball was like my main thing, and it's like no, it's like Kia. I love that girl. Like, I'm happy when I'm with her. It's never like a moment where I'm like, I gotta go home to this woman. Like, no, I love to come home to my woman. So it's just everything together. We gonna do it because I'm not sick of you. I need you right there with me. Like going to the store, I need Kia right there with me. So it's just like.
I would definitely say it's an indescribable feeling.
Yeah, I can't describe it.
I really can't even describe it, but it's one of the best feelings in the world. It's just like she was saying, it's just that best feeling. It's like coming home and taking off your bra, kicking off your shoes, and just laying down and you're able to be who you are. You're able just to be free. You're able to, she loves me for me. Unapologetically. It's just that perfect love. Like it feels great to be loved by her. I feel secure. I feel safe. She's like my safe haven. I really can't even put a word to it, or I can't really even describe it, but it's one of the best feelings in the world, and I can't wait to marry her and be with her and do life with her and spend a lifetime and many lifetimes with her. So it's a great feeling.